where Matt usually does something really stupid and like that, like having the dog do his introduction. But
Always
welcome.
down.
We are back. We made it out alive from our trip, and we have a very special guest today. David, I've always butchered your last name, so you're going to have to say it. David
It's
S.
it's Smith, you know?
Smith. David Smith.
It's Szczunciski.
Szczunciski.
Yeah.
David Szczunciski.
There we
The
go.
new.
Bless you.
Are you? I never really asked you when we were at Annbriar, but are you running APT now, or are you co-owner of the chapter?
Co-owner of the chapter at this point.
Nice. Look at that.
Congratulations.
He's got some owner creds now.
You know.
Fantastic.
I was trying to think of the term. With great responsibility comes something, but I can't think of what it is.
What is it? With great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
Uncle Ben, Spider-Man.
Yes.
And that's enough nerd for today. So, but anyway, we all had the pleasure of doing a gigantic. How do I want to put it? Well, me and Matt and Brandon, which you heard because we released that podcast earlier, we did a gigantic tour, to say, of the, I'd say Iowa, Missouri, or Mid-Missouri and St. Louis chapters of APT, where we actually participated in all their openers for the year. Well, not St. Louis. St. Louis has openers on their own. But yeah, it was a fun experience, minus the, 35-mile-an-hour gusts of wind.
All weekend.
It didn't
all
end.
Weekend.
Dude, that wind was just beating us down all weekend. I was ready to go. I was ready to go. There's a day, it was Tuesday after we got back. I wanted to go hit at my parents' house, and I was just like, I don't feel like going to the ranch and just getting beat down by wind, so I'm just gonna go hit in the garage.
I don't blame you one bit.
Kind of the first non-windy day, like a normal wind day, as opposed to 20 to 30.
When was this weekend?
Saturday was really windy.
Sunday was beautiful. Saturday it got gusty. Probably.
Tell you what,
later in the day is when they started getting really windy.
Excelsior's greens. It's a good thing it wasn't windy.
Were they
because
hot?
Those? Oh God, they were fast.
Well, they were probably better than Stone Canyon. Stone Canyon needs to get on it and start.
Oh, you can't even tell. You can't even tell anyone's played at Excelsior.
Really? Well, I'm telling you.
The greens were just absolutely.
Stone Canyon's just missing out. They need to start watering quick because the rough, if you went off the fairway, it's just dead spots, dirt, mud. It started to look like Shamrock Hills, and I'm like, this is not usually what it's like.
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, Minor Park's rough was like Creekmore yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, Minor Park's looking really lush right now.
That's
not good. Minor's always in good shape.
Yeah.
People can talk as much shit on it as they want. But yeah, Minor's almost always in really good shape as far as the whole course.
I've never had a bad experience at Minor Park. I'll say that.
I mean, Minor's just busy. That's the only downfall to Minor is you may be stuck behind a group of 4 people that have never played golf before, which is okay. I mean,
absolutely.
That's the course I want people to play at, you know?
Same thing with, that's how me and Andrew were talking about it yesterday too at Excelsior. We're like, Excelsior is probably one of the best kept courses year round because those greens were absolutely immaculate yesterday. No marks, no nothing whatsoever, and the greens were rolling super pure and true. And it was just but we're just the one downside is just the caliber of golfer out there, especially for that course. Because they were people were playing fine until they were getting to the greens, and those greens were just eating people alive.
I'll agree with you. That course is always in good shape. It's never not been in good shape since I've started playing it, and that was
since we found it.
We only found it because of APT, honestly.
You're not wrong.
No, I don't. I don't think I would have ventured to Excelsior Springs without it. I'll say that.
So there's quite a few courses that I probably would have never played without the APT.
Well, I mean, and speaking of like Columbia Country Club, which we would never be able to get on because it's private,
True.
and then the greatest discovery of Annbriar, which
Yeah.
Annbriar hands down is probably on my top 10 already.
I
All
mean,
right, that
it's
was a we were what through like we were through a hole and a half, and I looked at David and I was like, "This is a top five course." I was like, "This is
I
we."
mean,
I literally hadn't even played two full holes yet, and I was like, I was already sold.
Yeah,
I'm glad
it's
I didn't give up your expectations there because we all talked about it being just
That's
a
what
great course to play.
I
it's
was a little
amazing.
worried
It's always
because
in
of
good
how
shape.
hyped up it was, but it was like it lived up and surpassed it for me.
And it's just a comfortable golf course. It's like I always say, it's like a home course at this point. Like I go
Yeah,
out there and I feel comfortable on every hole except for 11, but we won't go there.
11. Which one was
That was the
Oh,
elevated where I put one
that
into the
was
shit.
cut the
Yep,
corner, don't go in the creek. That's
yep.
like the imitation. Nah, I don't know. It's like the imitation hole for Sycamore. Like the one at
Oh yeah,
Sycamore where you got to do the exact same thing.
yep.
all I'm saying is
Only
I picked a great course to lay up to a great yardage on all the par threes.
yeah, one of them you didn't
Except for
even have
one,
to putt.
except for one par three.
Yeah,
You didn't
one of
lay
them
up
Except
on
you
for
one of
didn't
them.
have to putt. It makes the game so much easier when you don't have to putt. Go, Matt. That's your cue. Talk about it.
oh,
Go
I mean,
into it.
yeah,
Let the listeners know what you did. Your achievement.
it was so the funniest part about it leading up the whole day. Every single par three up to that point, I had hosel shanked one at least 60 yards right and left myself like 90 yards into the green on every par three. Somehow got up and down for bogey on all of them, but it was uh like just up to that point, like the par threes had just been a menace for me for no reason either. It was just bad swings, and I don't even know so much as bad swings. It's just like I didn't have the ball in the right spot, maybe, but it was like it was just weird. And we get up to was it 15, and it was into the wind, and I almost pulled an 8 iron, and I'm glad I didn't. But the wind was kind of gusty, and it's one of those ones where you hit it, and the wind kind of hit it a little bit, like halfway there, and Bub ballooned it up, and it was like it was coming down. And as bad as I judge it all the time, I was like, that's either 20 yards over the green, 20 yards short where David was, or it's like perfect. And I was just like, it one hopped and then just disappeared. And we all started going
We had a
crazy.
party on the tee box.
Yeah,
That's
it was such a fun time.
it was
I'm
a
pretty sure
blast.
everybody knew about that
First,
hole in one.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
first tournament hole in one. So that was, and second one overall. So it's sitting right there.
Well,
yeah.
and what was that? $500 and a Blue Tees gift.
Yep, I got the Bluetooth speaker, which is
Did they already send it
Oh,
to
you
you?
already got it?
Shit! It took us a week to get our payouts, and you
Oh,
already got a
sweet.
Bluetooth speaker. Jeez.
That's pretty. Is that the GPS one too?
yep.
Nice.
And it was funny because I told Brandon when he came into the clubhouse, and yep. I was like, I get a free Bluetooth speaker now too. And he goes, God damn it, because I keep getting all this stuff he wants for free. And so it's like, and so is but yeah, it was, it was pretty sweet. And I was like, the group we had too. It was just like, for those who don't know, it was me, Chris, David, and Andrew Ziegler, another Kansas City APT guy. It was just like the group we had couldn't have got any better for the moment,
No,
especially like
and credit to
especially coming
David
down the
here.
stretch with like it was basically just me and Andrew at the top of the leaderboard the whole round. So it was just
Yep.
like like the group we had, the situation of the leaderboard, the like just the back and forth all day, um like when I hit that David watched me hit that 5 wood into 18, and it was like I yelled at it a little bit like it was like in a long drive event or some shit. But I was like it was just like one of those like that was the first time I've ever been like truly like I guess in the moment coming down the stretch, like really just like felt like I had to battle for it. Outside of I don't count me and Cliff's trip down 18 at Winterstone last year, but because that was I think I tripled and he doubled, and that's why he beat me by one. That was just the ugliest hole of golf I think I've ever played coming down the stretch. But
you had to fight for it on 18. I mean, you knew you couldn't do worse than double, I think, to maintain second.
Yeah, and I was like,
but you knew
even
you
if
had to get an eagle to even compete for Ziggy in first place.
Yeah, but you were going up against the mayor of Tempo Town. He was on all day long.
All day.
And then that chip I hit out of where you saw where that ball was, David, but it was like the chip I hit out of there was just like that was probably the best short game shot I hit all day, just because like where it was. But I was just like, it was nice to see like mentally being able to stay locked in, like in that, because like in the past in those kind of moments I've, like everyone knows, I've choked. I've been known for choking up at the top of the leaderboard, but I feel like in the moment, that last stretch of holes, it was just like being able to stay locked in, even though I knew I was having to chase down Andrew because I wasn't gonna be able to, like the way he was playing, I was gonna have to make birdies coming in to even contend. So it was like, but it was awesome to see him get the win. Another Kansas City guy get a win on the weekend.
I mean, I think that was my personal best too in an APT tournament.
Yep.
Yeah, he asked for the card after we got done. He asked for the card, and he said, "Well, what was it? I think she ended up giving it to him, didn't she?"
Yeah, she did, because we were the last Division II group.
So I thought she was going to keep it there for a second, and then she's like, "Oh wait, you guys are done. We'll go ahead and let you keep it."
Thorman's hole in one, Ziggy's personal best, and to win it, and then Chris. I mean, we kind of called it.
I didn't call it. You called it.
I'm a little worried, or that we could have each easily been at 84, and we would have just left.
Yeah,
because I would have never thought at Ambrier in 84 would have won in Division III.
No,
me and Brandon were talking about that.
The conditions were not ideal, though.
They weren't.
I mean, it was a little. That was funny because we were sitting there at the clubhouse after the round. We had our food in front of us. We're watching everybody come up on 18, and David turns to me. He's like, "Dude, we could be top 10. You know what? We could actually be top 5." And I'm like, "Nah, man. Like, look at this. Like, they called us all in. The storms passed, and the wind was dead. Like,
it was beautiful.
We were combating with wind all day long, and then the wind just died." So
me and Brandon were on the way back, and like if the guy in his group hadn't finished with a better score than you guys did, I was like, I didn't know what the leaderboard was because we were driving, but I was like, I looked at Brandon and I was like, Brandon's sitting there like, oh, they might be in the top 5, and I was like, dude, what if they have to go to a playoff, but neither of them are there?
Exactly.
I would have given it up. I would have rather been home 2.5 hours earlier at that point.
If it were me and David having to go to a playoff, I would have said, "Hey, do you want to flip a coin?"
Yeah,
I'll just go to a coin flip.
Right.
I'm not driving back. Like, I think I made it to Wentzville when I got that information, and I'm like, sweet. And then I'm like, yeah, good thing we didn't tie, because I was pretty much in the zone and I was gone.
Well, I think we made it about 30 minutes out of town before the winner carded their 84, and I was like, okay, we're good.
Well, and it was Dallas. It was that guy that what was it, 2 years ago at the major?
Went like 79, 78.
Yeah, well, they had him in Division 4. He shot 70s both days, and when we asked about it, he was like, "Well, yeah, we had a good hour discussion about moving him." It's like, dude, if you have to talk about it for more than 5 minutes, he needs to be moved. Like that.
Yeah, they've really tightened up on the handicap committee. There's pretty much there's no leeway anymore. If you surpass your index to the next division, you get bumped. If you're new to the tour and you drop below a 13.5, you're getting bumped. There is no wiggle room anymore.
Well, I think they said so for people who have established tournament indexes, it's like basically if you right on the edge and it's like that 0.3 window or whatever. Like if your GIN is under the index, then you immediately get bumped. But if your gin is over the index, they give you another tournament or something like that.
Although, did you notice for Columbia, actually no, for Ambrier, gin added +2. So
because
like
of the rating,
they do
like
a
the
course
slope and rating, or what?
conditions. They do a course conditions.
I always wondered if they included conditions or not, because I feel like there's a lot of times where like someone's in Division 2 or 3 and they just shoot like way like there's people like in Port, like when Jake DQ'd me at Falcon Lakes for shooting an A2. Like, yes, I shot like inside the index still technically for 3, but it was or I think it was 2 under the index for 4 or whatever it was. But it was like the conditions that day were absolutely ridiculous. That was when it was like super cold and windy. So it was like, and I was in like the top 3 in the field, and he was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, understandable.
Pretty sure that was
But,
the one I was in the hospital.
Yep, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking
yeah.
at the round for Ambrier on 4-8. That's when it was, right? So post score. I'm still trying to figure out how to use this app.
Well, I mean, okay, so you figure out the app, but we're going to segue into this is the portion where we're going to talk about the Kansas City APT. We're having David on as our guest. He's been honestly, he's been awesome on the social media, keeping up on all the posts and keeping up on all the advertising and everything. But he's got a lot of cool things coming up. Yeah. And I think this year is going to be really good. I'm really excited for this year. But he's got some exciting things coming up, and we wanted to have him on so that he had a platform to get it out there, try to get more people. I think me and you were chatting back and forth, and it's like we should make Kansas City bigger than St. Louis.
Oh, I would love to get to that point. I mean, St. Louis is the original, so I think they have over 300 members in their tour.
How many?
Get to that, over 300.
How many do we have?
We're at like $136 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but there's goals. I mean, that means it's just a goal.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's doable. There's plenty of people out there. I mean, I got a whole stack of business cards to hand out to people now.
Yeah, he's talking about these little things that I came up with, which I actually stole from the idea from my Toyota club that I run as well, which is basically if we see a cool Toyota, we just stick this in the window. They have a link to come, join the Toyota club. So I was like, every time I'm playing, and I like to play as a single a lot because work is flexible. I may just be able to get out to OP and there's only a one spot open. So I played with some really cool guys. And I've always been like, well, you should look at APT, but I never have anything to hand to them. So the goal of those referral cards was keep them in your bag. You play with somebody you like, give them a card and put your name on it. If they join, your name's already on there for the referral.
See, Matt's already. He's Vanna Whiting him back there.
Well, that's one of those changes that I wanted to make this year. I mean, let's be honest. For APT, our best marketing is from you guys, our members.
I mean, because me and Brandon do that all the time too. Like we'll be playing as a twosome somewhere, and then people ask or we'll be at Tom's. Like we've gotten tons of people from Tom's involved in it just because we've been at Tom's and they're like, well, how do you guys know each other? Because obviously the age difference, and they're like we met at Tom's and then we started playing on the tour together, and then they're like, and we've gotten people to join the APT just from literally just go playing at Tom's or Amp or anywhere else.
Oh yeah.
So, but like you said, we never had anything to we never had anything to be here, this is easy to look at so you can find it. It's just they have to go find it.
I think it elevates the tour as well at the same time.
It does.
Right.
Well, and Jake had some of those in the first year, but they were just phone number and email. I like the idea of the QR code because it makes it a lot easier for someone to just scan it and get all the information they need. To me, and this is just in life in general is like I don't like high pressure sales or having to call and talk to somebody because not that you're going to be in high pressure sales, but the thought of calling somebody, getting information and all that, it was the QR code would have made it a whole lot better.
Yeah, and I just want it to be easy. Just scan a code, research it on your own. If you're interested, sign up or go to our Facebook page. I mean, it's that easy.
Well, and one thing I don't think a lot of people know is you can try it out. You don't have to
Sure.
join right off the bat. You can come in, play as a guest, see if you like it. If you don't like it, you move on. If you do, join up right there. But I had one of my buddies do the guest route. Um he didn't end up joining. He
Is
has
it Mr.
logs.
Mayor?
No, Mr. Mayor plays. He still plays. No, it was another buddy of mine. He played one. He played Adams Point, had a really rough day, and was like, I don't think I have enough time. But to his credit, he goes to the lake a lot. So, I would too, but I enjoy golf way too much to not, you know, play every chance I get. But but David has a lot of cool stuff coming up from the APT. One of which is Sycamore's tournament this year. They made a minor tweak.
We did. So, as you guys know, Sycamore has always been historically one of the harder courses we play, especially for our lower divisions, your 3, 4, and 5.
That's
And
accurate.
while it's a triple, I mean, I remember when I was in D5, I think I shot like a 97 3 years ago, and that was second place.
Mm-hmm.
So, my thought was this year, let's do something a little bit different, and let's try it at Sycamore. One, I think it'll increase our pace of play, make that a little bit better. But two, I think it'll be a little bit more fun for divisions 3, 4, and 5, where I don't want to say you can play more aggressive, but you can keep it more competitive. One bad hole, kind of like match play, doesn't ruin your round.
No.
So the way modified Stableford will work is you get more points for bogeys, pars, and birdies than you do for doubles or triples. So if you have a couple of doubles, you just don't get any points. But if you get pars, you get 2 points. If you get birdies, you get 4 points. If you happen to get an eagle, which is very possible, like on hole 11, you get 8 points.
Hole 11. Which one's hole
That's
11?
the
Par 5.
usually
That's
Par 5
long
bunker.
Par 5, isn't it?
par
it's
5
not.
that you can get 2 and 2 if you have a good drive, because it all funnels back downhill into the green.
I'm
It's par
spacing.
5. It's the par 5 with the bunker in the middle of the fairway.
Yep.
The first
Oh,
one on the
right.
back.
Spacing.
On the links 9. The links 9.
Yeah, on the back 9.
Yeah, it's the first one as you cross the street.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I'm always right, so I mean, I don't really know about the bunker in the middle.
I think it'll be fun. Again, if you get a triple, you're still going to lose 1 point, but you're losing 1 point as opposed to losing 3 points.
But you don't
Right?
go negative.
Like if we were
right?
doing stroke play.
You're not going negative, right? Like, so guys aren't going to be
triple will be -1.
will be -1. So you're not. So you are going below 0 then.
We are.
Okay.
It's just I think it would be too much confusion if we didn't, for people not to play out to triple.
True. Very true.
And we have to make sure handicaps remain accurate. So you still have to play out to triple, and if you get a triple, it's -1. But as opposed to stroke play,
So you're not losing
it's not
3 strokes to the
-3,
field.
it's just -1.
That's a good idea. I like the parody of it. And I know, like, me, Matt, Andrew, Brandon, we talked about it for a couple years, and we'd love to see different things like this. Like, I mean, I don't think a match play thing is able to happen, but like Stableford or perhaps a Ryder Cup style event, that to me would be really awesome. And I know we've talked about it.
I think a match play could probably happen like down the road.
Yeah, but how
you
but
could
how
also
would you
like
do it?
you just do it within divisions, or you do
I know, but like
it.
most
Would be
match plays,
it wouldn't
are
be
like a
any
tournament.
different. It wouldn't be any different than a Ryder Cup match
Well,
play.
next
But
year, and don't hold me to this because it's a long way out, but my goal for next year is like we have Fred Urbanus that'll be on the schedule next year on a Sunday. Maybe something different to do on a Saturday night is they have an executive course, a par three. So we do a social event, and this is kind of something that I stole or stealing from Myrtle Beach last year. We do a par three shootout the night before, like Saturday evening, 4 or 5 o'clock. It's a cheap tournament. You get 3 clubs and a putter, and we all play from the front tees. And then it's just how low can you go, right?
That's not a bad idea.
Like a little $40, $50
say steal it from
tournament.
Myrtle Beach, but you should definitely say I stole it from the Masters. That's what
I mean. Absolutely. I mean, just a little par three shootout with 3 clubs or 4 clubs.
I'd be
3
okay
wedges
with
and
that.
a putter. That's all you get.
Well, that and like
agree with that.
Like I love the different style in like different types of tournaments, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And like now that like we all love Jake, nothing against Jake, but he's an incredibly busy dude. So like he just didn't really have time to like really like put in like to like do those different kinds of things. Just his, and it also doesn't know like since COVID in the last 2 years, like his business has boomed so much.
Which one?
And so like
he's 6.
mostly the golf simulator one, but like all of his stuff has just been booming. So like Jake runs probably one of the best tournaments I've ever been a part of as far as tournaments go. But he just, as far as the time part of it, of like putting in the time to like, you know, get all the different courses, and that's probably why, because I know people have been like, well, why do you just play the same courses every year? It's probably a lot of it. I think is
easier for him to book it.
Yeah,
right after the tournament's over,
courses,
saying like, all right, what do you got next year?
The courses already like us. Like it's like it's easy. It's just like he's like being a business owner of several businesses. Like he just didn't really have time to like, you know, put in the like. David has a little bit more time on his hands than Jake does, and it's easy for it's going to be a lot easier for David to kind of come in and really like I think expand the Kansas City APT more than Jake would.
And
but
and if we all take a step back, there are only so many public courses in Kansas City that are at that quality that we would want to have people play at, right?
Yeah.
I can't take you guys to Minor Park. I can't take you guys to St. Andrews, right? They get too much play. They're not the quality of course that we would want.
Well, Golf League goes to Hoots Hollow.
That's fair.
Lord.
That's fair.
Sorry,
I will say Hoots was looking nice. If somebody just put in some bunkers and let the long grass grow out at Hoots, it'd be an amazing link style course.
Yeah,
I heard rumors it was going to go away. I heard rumors they were selling it for development.
I doubt it would be Hoots. I think that might be Country Creek.
I thought it was Hoots, but that I could be wrong. It was all just.
I mean, their tee sheet was packed when I played there Saturday.
It's always packed. Like you get on T-Quest, it's always got like afternoon ones available, but the mornings are booked. That leads me to that whole like your St. Andrews, your Sykes Lady, your Minor Park, Hoots Hollow. They all have cult followings to where they are booked constantly. Like all Shamrock Hills, same way, constantly booked all the way until 3 o'clock.
Well, then we talked about it too when we played Eagle Bend when we were out there that one day, and Lawrence we were talking about like expanding the APT to like like Lawrence, maybe a little bit outside of the metro area, and I think that's an awesome because there's so many really good courses that are like 45 minutes, 50 minutes. Like Excelsior is one of those, like Eagle Bend is one of those. Mazingo obviously we have the 2-day there, but like. Stuff in Topeka.
Mozingo's definitely not going anywhere. It's just
that's my favorite of the year. If you guys get rid of that, I'll protest and leave.
I think Mozingo should be a national major, but that's just me. I don't get to make this decision.
I will show up outside of your houses, and I will protest.
Like courses in Topeka, like there's tons of courses in Topeka, Manhattan, Wichita's a little far, but like there's like just outside of the metro area, I feel like there's a lot of courses that like could be good tournament courses that are, it's hard. I think now with more members, it's also going to be a little easier. It didn't help that, when Jake was running it, we also had like maybe 100 dudes. Like that didn't help either. Like that was, but that was also straight out of COVID first couple of years.
That's actually how I found it,
like,
was during COVID.
And now you can
likewise.
But now like we have enough people where like no matter where you book a tournament, it's gonna get filled up. Like because we were joking, the first year it was like we were signing up like at the due date every single week, and there was like there's literally like there's always like 10, 15 spots like at the due date. Now like it's selling out before the season starts.
And you gotta that has a lot to do with the new deposit system they put in place too. Because back then we all had to actually pay in full upfront for that tournament. True. Now you can put $25 down and be in the tournament, and then they'll just draw it out the week before, which I've always had mixed emotions about, because you did have some last year where it was like, you got people like me, Matt, Andrew, Brandon, we played for 3 years straight, and then we can't get into a tournament like even early.
But I've noticed the first year they did the deposit, everything sold out super fast.
Yeah.
But the last year, I think people kind of realized, oh wait, I don't need to put a deposit down on all 8 tournaments same week. I can space it out.
I mean, I see
except for the Big Al.
Good. What?
Remember the first year, Alan?
Alan signed up for every tournament.
Registered for every single
every
tournament the first week of the year. And I was just like, man, that man is getting after it.
Oh, yeah. No, like, I mean, I see a good use for the deposit system, but I see it more for national majors than local, because locals are not as expensive.
Like
majors, the deposit system's great. I think it's a good thing.
I'll say we talked about that. Like basically, like what if they were to do with the deposits for locals, and like because the nationals, like it's nice because like what Stream Song is like almost $1,000.
I think so like $799. I want to say
so like 800 or something.
But it's a 3 day, if I remember right.
Yeah, it's not a 3 day. It's a 2 day.
It's a 3 day.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
All 3 courses this year.
Ooh,
yep.
Shit.
It's a 3 day every year.
Stream Song 25th, 26th, 27th.
I don't mind it for locals because I think
$900.
Because I was like,
to the group that I'm trying to really grow our tour with, which is really that 20 to like 35 age group.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us don't necessarily have the money to say, okay, well, I'm going to pay 125 for this tournament, 115 for this one, 130 for this one. But it makes it more reachable, I think, with the deposit system, even for locals.
I agree.
I can put down 30, reserve my spot. You know what? If I just change my mind, I'm not out the money or the cancellation fees. I can pay 30 now and then just pay the other 80 later. Not stress about it.
Right. Especially that's true. Especially also like with majors too. Like I know Branson's 800, I think, is what it usually is. And so like it's nice not having to, just like, man, I'm gonna have to drop $800 like just all at once. Like you can, it's like 350 or 400, and then it's the rest.
Yeah.
So like it's nice being able, especially with the more expensive ones. Yeah. Especially with the more expensive ones, it's nice to be like, I don't have to just drop $800 or $900. Like, because a lot of people are like, well, I have to save up for a couple of weeks, but what if it's sold out? Like,
exactly. Just put your deposit down and save up that money for 2 months if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's kind of like what I'm doing with French Lick. It was pricey, but I could put the deposit down now, pay the remainder here in a couple of months.
Well, French Lick, you have to stay on site too, right?
You do.
Yeah.
But there's casino. It's a whole resort. Detail. It's kind of like Pinehurst. It's a whole resort town.
Yeah, and that was the one detail. I'm not big on the requirement. I get it, but I'm not big.
It wasn't bad though. I mean, I think it was $200 a night, $220 a night, but you get 2 per room.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, queen bed, so it makes it a little bit more manageable for 2 nights.
Yeah, it's because me and Brandon were talking about going to Stream Song, and it was like, it's like because you have to stay. You don't have to stay on site for that one, but
It's
the closest
recommended.
thing
Nothing
is
else
like
around Stream Song.
I was saying that because I was talking to Cliff about it, and he was like, the closest thing is like 50 minutes away.
Yeah.
So he was like, you might as well just stay on site. And it's like, and I think it's like they got it down to like 215 or 250 a night or something. But it's like split, say you get 3 guys, like that's not that bad.
Stream Song,
Like,
I
it's
think,
just
sold out this year.
It is.
Yeah, a lot of them.
But
a lot of the big majors
I can't just justify taking a week off of work. Is
Fresh
my problem.
sold out, I think, in about an hour.
I was just notified by my boss that my PTO is getting a little full, so I have to justify it sometime.
Hubbard, I think Ziegler or Zach and I are considering going down to Tulsa on the 5th
of
May. They're doing I think it's $110 at the Hard Rock Casino course.
Uh-huh.
And the Hard Rock's only $100 a night.
Checking.
So driving down, I think it's about 3.5 hours to the Hard Rock.
I would say it's not that. Tulsa's not far.
No, it's super easy. Stay a night for cheap for $100, split 2 ways.
Hey, whoa! You don't have to talk to me about staying cheap. I was in a Super 8, a Days Inn, and a Ramada for the 2 weeks ago.
Last weekend?
Yeah, it was bad. Oh. Like a couple of them were bad.
We got an Airbnb for June for Ambrier in downtown Waterloo.
Oh, dude,
so that's going to be great.
Be honest with you, I didn't even know there was an Oklahoma chapter.
I didn't know there was a Tulsa. I knew there was an Oklahoma City.
There's Oklahoma City, yeah.
Tulsa, I checked their previous tournaments. They usually have like 65 to 70 guys.
There's a Tulsa too?
Yeah.
Oh, I just looked up Oklahoma City. I figured.
No, look at
that's something we talked about this year. Was like we still want to do as many of the Kansas City locals as we can, but we want to like travel a little bit more, like St. Louis, Tulsa, Arkansas.
Well, I would get on. I would get on it and get on Ambrier for June 8th and 9th.
How many people?
If you're not in Ambrier, I would do it sooner than later for the 8th and the 9th.
Yeah, I would. It'll fill.
Persimmon on the Monday is already sold out.
The what?
Persimmon Country Club, which is fire. I mean, it's my favorite course in St. Louis.
That course it's very on par with Ambrier. It's just a different style of course.
Well, imagine Ambrier with Creekmore Rough. Like my very first tournament at Persimmon, 2 of the guys on the very first tee hit a ball right at the fairway. It went into the rough, and we couldn't find it.
It looks like 130 people already signed up, and there's only 180.
Yeah.
Yep. Is Zach going to that one?
Yeah.
Mr. Terry?
So I think
I might have to do me a little signy uppy.
Zach,
the testosterone
Ziegler,
Terry,
Paul Orovitz, and myself are all signed up, and we just booked an Airbnb downtown to keep it easy this time.
I know a really good Super 8 right next to the course.
It
only smells a little weird, but actually that room was awesome. Like it was really nice.
Acceptable.
Shockingly nice. Let's see. What was the other one you were talking about? Persimmon?
Tulsa? Oh, Persimmon, it's a Monday shotgun.
Tulsa's,
it's sold out already.
I mean, but it's Cinco de Mayo, and I celebrate privately.
I'd rather celebrate on a golf course than at a bar.
Is that only? Oh shoot! It's only a Sunday, so.
Yeah. So we were thinking about we're going to play the Winterstone Scramble on the 4th.
Okay.
Then drive down to Tulsa that night, stay in the Hard Rock, play the tournament on Sunday, and then just drive home.
Wait, there's a scramble at Winterstone on the 4th?
There is.
Is that a Saturday?
It is Saturday.
It is Saturday.
Sign us up, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got to.
Yes, I'm massive.
You guys got to defend your title from the last one, don't you?
Technically, yes, we won.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
No, we won. I mean.
Hey, I got a $75 gift card that says we won.
I got a $75 gift card.
Oh shoot! Hold on. Oh, I looked up Sycamore, not Winterstone. What am I doing?
I'll sign this up. I'll do it right now. Hold on, I'm doing it right now.
Sign us up.
Yeah.
Plus it'll be warm. it'll be warm and I can actually like swing a golf club. Dude,
You would
Excelsior's
have been.
fairways yesterday, freaking rocks.
So
It
was
was so hard. Like it was insane. Like Excelsior was playing extremely difficult yesterday. It was a like we both played pretty well, but like those green, like some of those pin locations were a little questionable. But it was like those greens were freaking insane. Like and how nice they're rolling. Like they're so like they're breaking how they're supposed to, but it's hard. Like a lot of those putts were like you have to leave yourself in the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like it's. I had 32. I had 32 putts with 3 chip-ins.
I got
Like-
super irritated because Stone Canyon was still aerated after 3 weeks because they don't water.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess Sycamore is struggling right now too, from what I heard.
pretty much everything I played this last weekend was freshly aerated. I mean, Hoots still had an inch of sand on the green, so that was interesting.
Hoots Hollow doesn't cut their greens.
I will
Let
say,
alone-
I played Hoots, I think, into February, and they were the fastest greens I'd played year to date.
Really?
It was weird. But I mean,
That's what
again,
because I can't putt out there.
it's fun to go
Registration
out there.
confirmed.
Oh, all right.
Looks like Team Cinco de Drinko.
So it's Ziggy, Zach Terry, Paul Orvitz, and myself, and our team name is Amateur at Best.
Oh, nice.
I love it.
So we're gonna try to get out there. I will say one person, Zach Terry, I think has shot. We played 3 rounds this weekend, and he shot a 75 at Eagles Landing, an 80 at Hoots, and I think an 80 yesterday at Minor.
Nice.
If there's
Not bad.
going to be someone to get promoted to D3 quickly this year, I think it's going to be Zach.
Oh,
That's his goal.
He has all the tools.
Oh, because he's in 4 still, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
I think he's had the tools to get to 3. He just like, it feels like he's phased out towards the end of rounds. Like he just kind of fizzles out.
It's just
So, like,
tournament
he's been-
golf, you know. You got to.
Oh yeah, but he's also
in it
like
till the end.
but he's been putting in a ton of work in
a ton.
in the gym and stuff too. And so like he's just his endurance is probably through the roof right now compared to what it used to be.
Oh yeah.
So like, but it looks like he's playing good. Like he looks good. He looks like he's playing good golf. Like
I mean, it's comfortable.
people don't understand how much like getting in the gym, even if it's just a little bit. It doesn't have to be like a ton. Like he can be like 20 minutes a day. You do some kind of workout, or like 20 minutes every other day, or 3 times a week. Like it makes a significant impact on your golf game. Just being able to play a full round of golf without getting tired.
Mhm.
It's a lot like that plays a huge part into it more than people realize.
I always struggle in the first maybe
That's why, like-
month because I'm not like prepared for that. So
Well, that's like this last, the 3 tournament weekend. Like I took first at Kirschville, second at Columbia, and second and Ambrier, and it was literally just like I just didn't even feel like we played golf all weekend on Monday. Like I had to force myself to not go hit balls on Monday because I was like I wanted to go hit balls, but I was like I should probably give it a day off.
I literally got home, went to bed, woke up, and mowed the lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I was just like,
Oh, I got up and flew to Minnesota, but
Yeah,
we're not going to talk
mowing
about
the
my
lawn.
actual work this last week because I'm not going to go there.
Nah, this show's
But
not
I mean,
about
like-
work.
I mean, David, you guys saw it on Sunday at Ambrier. Like I was still hitting driver and everything else like it was still
Oh, yeah.
the first day of the weekend. Like it was.
I mean, what were your
Like-
greens and reg? Because I don't, or not greens and reg, but fairways. Because I don't think you missed, but maybe
70
one fairway.
I missed the first 2 fairways of the day and then didn't miss one.
There was one where I think you hit a Toyota, or was it a?
No, I had to
No,
hit
it was
over the
a.
Toyota.
It was a GMC.
It was close.
No,
It was
I had to
close.
hit. I had to
Definitely hit
over
asphalt.
the Camry. I had to hit over the Camry. It was a good thing it wasn't a truck because there was a truck in the next spot back. So it was a good thing that the truck was not in the spot where the car was, or else I definitely
You
wasn't
did
getting over that truck.
exactly what
But
I
you
was
saved
afraid
bogey.
of.
You did save bogey on that hole.
I did say bogey on that hole. I don't know how I hit that.
And your
I literally,
insurance.
I'm sitting there over that second shot, and I was just sitting there like, I'm like, do I punch out down to the fairway? I'm like, there's this car and a tree, like literally right in between me and the pin. I was like, I'm gonna play with fire. And I literally looked at my wedge and I go, you had better hit this good, motherfucker. And I like get up to the ball and I was like, if I hit this anything other than exactly what I want to do, I am smoking the fender on this car. And I hit a good shot, hit a good chip shot, and then made the putt for bogey.
Well, get on your phone, sign up for June 8th and 9th, and get some redemption.
Yeah, do it, Matt.
I want to try and get a practice round day before.
So you did mention Andrew, and I want to bring up Andrew Turner. So you guys have all seen like the spectacular car photography that he does, truck photography. So
yes, we've seen pictures
Sycamore,
of his truck.
Make sure you tag the right Instagram because he's got like 5 of them.
It's true.
I've made the mistake multiple times.
So one cool thing about Sycamore is, and you guys have been seeing kind of the social media, we took some videos and pictures from last weekend, which I enjoy. But at Sycamore, Andrew and a friend are both going to bring their super nice cameras, and we're going to get action shots from everybody on the course. I'm going to put them in a Google Drive, and that is yours to use.
Nice.
So you're going to get basically, professional style images of you golfing. It's just another benefit, another perk of the APT.
God,
again, trying to keep it fresh.
I'm gonna have to get a haircut, wear a suit, so I can finally get a good picture for teams at work.
There you go. I mean, and that's kind of what this year's been about, right? Yeah. Is just building more benefits. They may, I'm hopefully eventually going to find sponsors that'll add the cash prizes, but Golf Ranch, they're just going to give everyone free buckets of balls for, I think, 6 tournaments this year. We have the Patriot Coatings kind of separate event where that is a cash prize.
That's what I actually took second at last year.
The old Patriot Coatings points of stuff.
Which I should have your trophy if you don't already have it, Chris.
For second place?
Oh, second place. I'm sorry.
I took second, dude. I don't
second place. Okay.
Come on now.
I think Brandon won.
You saw Jake's email. Always the bridesmaid. I'm never the bride. Always.
And then AMP Golf, like you said, I think you mentioned AMP earlier, Matt. We now have a deal with them where it doesn't matter what tournament you play, you can go get deals on their services. 25% off simulator rentals. I think it's 20% off like gym services, and I think 15% off like packages.
Oh yeah, and like they have
an APT member.
That and like they have a fantastic facility too, and like there's no like that any deal there is worth taking.
That gym blew me away. That's not what I expected walking in there.
Yeah,
and maybe just maybe at the end of the season we might do something there. It's like a party at the end of the season.
Well, and I mean, you're to go back to like you were talking about, we can't really do minor park, we can't really do stuff like that. I mean, I think one thing would be cool is if we could do like an APT scramble, like a 2-man scramble. You can do it by division. So guys in Division 3 that pair up, guys in Division 2 that pair up, and have a scramble format. That'd be fun.
Yeah, they do like a 2-man scramble or even a 1-man scramble event.
I think we should do a 1-man scramble.
I think a 1-man scramble event would be a lot of fun.
What's that?
I thought there was a course doing that.
Creekmore does it. It's members only 1-man scramble. Essentially you sign up and you hit 2 golf balls and you play the best one. So,
but no, I mean, like Matt said earlier about like Eagle Bend. I've heard you guys. I mean, I've been a player or a member for 4 years now.
I say we've all been there like since the start.
Yeah, I mean, I know what people are looking for, which I think really makes it a lot easier for me to make those changes for next year. Looking at courses in Lawrence. I mean, driving to Lawrence is no shorter or no longer than driving at Excelsior.
Oh, come on. You spend all kinds of time in Lawrence. You're a KU guy. Come on.
I keep my boat out there too. So I go play Eagle Bend in the morning.
See, now we see the bias. He's not going to go to Firekeeper. He's going to go straight to Lawrence.
There's options for Firekeeper. There's options for Colbert Hills. Mm-hmm. I would love to get us on a private course for next year. again, I can't make these promises now.
No.
Still
All you can
having
do
those
is try.
conversations.
That's it.
I can't tell you Mule will be back on the schedule for next year.
Good. I love Mules National. Mules National.
I mean, it's so good. It's so good.
As long as it's a Friday. I'm tired of these Monday tournaments.
It'll be a Monday. I can burst that bubble. And that's not my call. That's their call.
Yeah, that's obviously that's on the course. I'm always like, same with like Giannis and David Sandvik. Their scramble they have every year at
Falcon Ridge.
Yep, Falcon Ridge. I'm like, man, every year he sends me the message on Facebook. I'm just like, Nick, make it a Friday. I can be there. So I just can't make it a Monday.
Well, again, I got apparently PTO that needs to be burned. So if you're listening out there and have a tournament on a Monday, I'll sign up and take a day. My boss does give me a hard time about that.
That's my goal is, let's continue the good stuff that we all love to play here in Kansas City. Your Stone, your Adams Point, Fred Arbenas. Like I said, maybe adding a par 3 shootout. Mozingo, I'm never taking off the schedule. I mean, Mozingo is just too good. But, having it's a balance of how much do people want to drive and how often. If we're going to do a 2-hour drive to Mozingo, are people really going to want to drive 2 hours to Firekeeper or Colbert Hills?
I would. Hands down.
I would. Absolutely, I would.
Well, and you got to think, like time of year too. Like if you put like a 2-day, because going to Colbert Hills isn't any different than going to Mozingo. So it's just the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So it's just like if you just as long as it's a 2-day, the people will show up. But I think if you make a 1-day at Colbert, I think it's going to be harder to fill the field than it would be.
Well, and I'd love to add Falcon Lakes back on the schedule, but it's got to be affordable for you guys.
I didn't notice. Is Falcon Lakes not on the schedule this year?
It's not on the schedule.
No.
Oh.
I don't think we played it last year either, did we?
We
did. It was a 2-day.
Or was that the first one last year again?
The first one?
For COVID, courses have continually raised prices, so it's got to be affordable for you guys as well. I can't charge you $250, $260 for a 2-day at Falcon Lakes when Mozingo's sub $200.
Yeah, well, then
do it.
I feel like location brings a lot of that into play too, because we were talking about it Saturday when we were playing. It was me, Brandon, Mike Parker, and one of his buddies. We were playing Adams Point, and it was we're like Missouri has the better courses, like the better public courses in our opinion, because it's all like Falcon Lakes is super nice, but it's like $80, $85.
Yeah.
More.
Oh yeah, it was.
And then Sycamore's like $80, $85. But then you go to Stone Canyon, $60. Winterstone, $60.
Yeah.
Stone Canyon's going up.
Adams Point, $70. But still, it's not $80. It's not almost $100 around.
Well, okay. So fun story. When we were. What was it? Stone Canyon 2 years ago. Remember when Chris came out from St. Louis and he was marshaling to help Jake out? I was talking to him on the infamous 15, and I asked him, I go, so what do you think about Stone Canyon? He goes, this course in St. Louis is easily private only. He goes, this is in St. Louis. This isn't a public course. He goes, you're spoiled.
We're very spoiled with public courses.
Yeah,
in Kansas
spoiled.
And people don't realize that.
No, not at all.
Especially Persimmon Woods.
A national major here. I mean, I try to get Minder. I kind of poke at him all the time. Like, let's do a Ryder Cup or a national major, and try to get people here to do Parkland style, Zoysia Bentgrass style tournaments. I mean, Ambrier. I don't ever want to see that go away. That's the best of all of it, right?
Yeah, right.
But it'd be nice to see more in the Midwest.
Give us like a national 2-day at, maybe Colbert Hills, or a national 2-day at Mozingo, or Mozingo. The big thing with Maryville is they are open to every big event they can get because it's a small town, and so like football games, you have to book months and months in advance if you want a hotel room there because they're always fucking packed. But 2-day at Mozingo, maybe a 2-day, maybe there is a private course in Kansas City that'll let us have a national 2-day. If it'll bring enough people.
So hypothetical, how would you feel about 36 holes in one day?
I mean, I'm all about
I do it every year.
Everyone knows I'm about it.
If it was somewhere just A plus, 18 holes in the morning, lunch included, 18 holes in the evening, afternoon.
I mean,
Okay,
that would depend on. I mean, it would have to be. I don't want to say it would have to be worth it because the 72 hole tournament I play every year is 36 on Friday, 18 Saturday, 18 Sunday. So, and we do that at Falcon Lakes. We do it's literally 18 in the morning, break, 18 in the afternoon, and then you're home, sleep for a little bit, and then you're down to Creekmore for 2 days.
Yeah. And this would be local.
So
and
my opinion,
like probably a Monday, of course, but maybe a Sunday, maybe a Monday, but like 18 in the morning, take a break, 18 in the afternoon.
And even though like maybe you do that as maybe that's your 2-man scramble tournament. Maybe that's your like.
I don't think you would want to
do like a. Maybe not, but like maybe that's your. Maybe you do one of those as like, if it's not like if it doesn't get a good reception as like a regular tournament, maybe you do like a 2-man like scramble. Like the first 9 holes is this, the second 9 holes is this, then third 9 holes is this, fourth 9 holes is this. Like it's almost like a Ryder Cup, but it's just a 2-man. It's a 2-man tournament.
So you're talking more like a. So you change it up, basically saying.
Like the first 9
scramble,
is best
4-ball.
The first, then you do like maybe you do a shamble for 9 holes, and then you maybe do alternate shot for 9 holes.
See, I'd love to do that against another tour.
I think that'd be the biggest
possible,
thing.
But I would love to have a battle of the tours. Don't know the feasibility of that at all, but be fun. I mean, we have a couple of amateur tours in Kansas City. It'd be fun to do a battle between.
It would be. I don't think it would ever happen, but I think it would be awesome.
I'm going to be honest. It would be fun. I think if you talk to David King, I bet you we can make it happen.
I bet you could.
David, this is an official call out from David.
I don't think it's talking to him. I think it's talking to National APT.
Yeah.
But more people playing golf to me is what I want. I mean, I don't care what tour you play. I mean, I don't hold anyone to loyalty. I just want you to go play golf and be competitive and have fun.
Well, that's like because me and Brandon still play a couple golf league tournaments every year. Like, we still play a couple golf league tournaments, but like we mostly play APT stuff. But like we play both just because like same with us. Like we just want to go play golf. Like we want to go play competitive golf. Like it's different because almost every golf league tournament's a shotgun start. But like
true,
a lot of people like that more than a regular tournament style. But like because I know Mazingo every year for us is always a shotgun start in the morning, and I know it's about 50-50. I feel like people like because I know me and Brandon personally, we're big like we want to play it from the first hole how the course was meant to be played, but then like also it depends on the course. With Mazingo, like they want it to be a shotgun start, so like it's not if that's what it takes for us to be there, then that's fine. But it's just
but I like that it's a shotgun. I like Mazingo as a shotgun just because I like getting together with everybody and then either eating or hanging out or going to eat or what. Last year everybody went to the range and then went and played another 18.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and then you also have to think
that little 9-hole course, didn't we, last year?
Yeah,
I didn't play that one.
But you also got to think like every other year besides this year, Mazingo's been on Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, that's what's been tough.
So like it's been like people have to get out early Sunday, so it makes more sense.
Well, I mean, it's going to be definitely different this year, being in middle of August. Those greens,
it's going to be a totally different course.
Fast.
As long as they got those jalapeno wontons for Brandon, he'll be happy. He don't care.
Dude, that restaurant on site at Mozingo is
it's top notch. It's so awesome.
Good. The second best restaurant in Maryville.
Yeah, see, we have our little tradition as a group when we're up there. We always go to A&G's. And
try that.
Yeah, oh dude, it's so good.
A&G is the best restaurant in town.
Yeah,
hands
it's
down.
So good.
It's
I actually got my Italian dinner with a glass of wine. It was kind of nice.
It's technically a Greek restaurant, but they have literally everything. Like their menu's like this thick. Like it's.
Yeah.
I've probably had everything on the menu 3 times, but I also lived there for 5 years. So.
That's where the football team would go every Friday night?
Yeah, every Friday night we'd get those stairs on the outside by the patio.
Yep.
So that goes up to like its own private little room, and then we always had team dinner up there every Friday on home games.
Yeah.
And we'd
see?
ride all of our scooters down to the hangar and watch a movie together.
Team building. We're not going to do that. We're just.
Mazingo this year is just, it's good.
I'm excited for
Second-to-last
Mazingo. That's
tournament
That's the one tournament every year I will not miss. That's my favorite tournament to go to.
I had to miss it last year because I moved, and
I remember
not
that.
going to miss it this year.
Yeah,
because you were a
my title.
That was the first
you were
time
a
we played
defending
together. That's the
champion
first time I
last
played with you. Was at Mazingo. It was like
that
3
was-
years ago.
That was the Stan weekend.
Oh yeah, that was the one where he remember he forgot his shoes and he had to buy brand new shoes in the clubhouse.
This
and then he
was
fell out of the cart.
Stan had a cup about twice this big,
Yep,
full of it smelled like bourbon or whiskey.
it was bourbon because it was like that at Winterstone too.
It was empty by hole 9. By hole, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. By hole 3, he could not hit a ball off the tee. By hole 3.5, he could not hit a ball out of the fairway. By the end of hole 3, I sat him down in the cart and said, "You're drinking this water and you're skipping this hole and taking a triple."
Didn't you hold him like have to hold him in the cart?
So I wasn't even like on the radar for helping Jake. I was just a player at this point. And I had texted Jake. I'm like, I think you might have to come get this guy out of my cart. He just can't play golf. He's too drunk. So by about 12 holes in, he passed out in the cart, like out cold. And so I still have to play. It's day 2. I'm still playing. I'm driving the cart while trying to like drive through the fairways, grabbing on his shirt so he won't fall out. For 8 holes, I held him in the cart. Hole 18, he finally woke up, and I had just given him triples the rest of the round. It was bad. Then I find him. I was like, okay, I'm done with Stan. I'm done babysitting. I think I've won this tournament. I've got my good karma for keeping him from falling out of the golf cart. Get up to the parking lot, and that motherfucker. Sorry.
No, you're fine. We're a cussing friendly.
All right, show. That motherfucker. I thought I was done with him, and he full out face plants in the parking lot, trying to get into a car, like full face plant.
His girlfriend is the one that drives him because he can't drive. I don't think he has a license.
So I go to pick him up off the ground because he can't get off the ground. He put his glasses through his nose, so clearly needing stitches, bleeding all over the place. I look at his girlfriend and I'm like, you need to take him to urgent care and give him some water. Like I literally, Stan's not a small guy. Picked him up, put him in this car, bleeding from the face so he can go to urgent care. That's how that day ended.
I haven't heard from Stan or seen him in probably 2 years. I don't think I didn't even see him at all last year.
I think Jake told him after that tournament, like, you can't drink on our tournaments anymore.
I don't blame him.
That was way, way beyond okay.
Yeah.
That whole day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
at that point you're ruining someone else's experience.
Exactly.
Just apparently when you run out onto the range when everybody's hitting.
I still laugh at it. I still stay.
We still laugh at
in the
it.
zone, but it was different. It was different.
Yeah.
Creekmore last year, I had the club thrower / temper tantrum.
Who's that? Who?
Club, some guy not from our tour.
Oh, gotcha.
And I think after the first time he threw his club, I looked at him and I go, "You realize I'm a marshal for the APT, right? Like, bring it down a notch." And then he broke his club on the next hole, and I'm like, "You're walking. You're not getting in this cart until you calm down. Like, you're walking the rest of this hole."
I don't understand how people can get like that, especially around strangers. Like,
I don't know.
You have a bad day. Okay.
That's just expensive right there. That is a very expensive thing to break.
Well, and then damaging the course stuff made it even worse. And that's when I was really like, listen, you're not going to hit the golf cart. You're not going to kick the golf cart. You're not going to hit the sandbox on the tee. Like, quit it or you're done. Like, that's
why I play butter knives. So like when I like do the old, Phil getting out of the bunker when he like hooks it in the thing, that way I just like butter knife in the ground and then I take it out and you can't even tell it
That reminds
But
me,
no,
I got to sign up for Creekmore this. I'm going to play Creekmore this year. I don't
When I
normally
get to play.
I don't normally play it because it's a Monday, but I think I'm going to play it this year.
I won't get to play a lot this year. That's why I've been looking at Tulsa or St. Louis. I'll play Creekmore because it's a Monday shotgun, so I can still play and still manage it per se, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh no.
But
Yeah.
I'll miss a few just because I have to work.
And
on this shit, but
if you want help with marshaling, feel free to like.
Yeah. Ping. Let me know. I'm all about it.
I always love like. I'm always more than happy. Like after I get done, like I'll go out. Like last year, almost. I think every single tournament, like me and Cliff would get done. Jake always just threw me and Cliff in the same group, and we're like the first group off in D2 or D3 or whatever.
yeah.
And so like he'd just throw us as like the first D2 group off, and then like after we got done, we would just both just drive around the course and just.
Well, I mean, and you're welcome to ask
Jake
me.
was like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
I mean,
and then
we'll take that offline, but I'm happy to have volunteers, and I'll work something out with you guys. I mean, the biggest thing about volunteering is, if we're marshaling, it's just keeping people on time.
Look, I'm 5'6", and I'm really good at power trips.
Answering rule questions and keeping people on time. I think last year's the first time I ever yelled at somebody. That was at Excelsior when I had warned them twice to speed it up, and then they took 2 minutes.
Excelsior got bad last year.
It did.
Yeah,
it didn't
really
get bad until probably start of D4.
It didn't get bad until, for us, it was hole 10.
Yeah.
We got on hole 10. That's when I called you over, and you actually drove over because I think Zach was on the front and you were on the back.
Yeah.
And that's when I called. I think I got a hold of somebody and said, "Hey, you need to come over here. We got a problem." And they finally picked it up. I mean, I don't know. I love Excelsior, but I don't know how you can play that course that slow. There's not that much like area to get in trouble in.
I think one thing I'll stress this year is, especially in the lower divisions, 3, 4, 5, if your ball's clearly out of play and you're not going to be able to make a strike on it from where it is, because half our courses are woods or 4-foot grass.
Oh yeah, give it a courtesy look, but like don't spend.
Yeah, and that's
give it a 30-second look, because it's not, and what a lot of people forget, it's not 3 minutes per lost ball. It's 3 minutes per
hole. Yep.
And so if you have 3 people out of position, all 3 of you aren't going to look for each ball. You all just need to go look. If you don't find it, take your drop and move on.
And
we've always done it like basically if one or two people have to go look for their balls, like go look for your balls, other 2 people go hit your shots, and if they don't find it by the time you hit your shots and come over and like give them a courtesy look, then like just drop and move on.
Exactly.
Like,
but
I had to tell a lot of people last year like hey, like I hate to be that guy, but like you got to drop. Like
I did that at Kirksville. I had to tell one of them, it's like, dude, you got to give up. This is way past time. But again, you get those people that are very combatant about it and they don't like that answer, but you got to tell them, it's like, you're done. Like you can't do
Brandon.
Well, and I don't remember who I had the discussion with. It was one of you two, but I had the discussion. It's like, look, if 3 out of the 4 people in your group have a consensus that ball is not coming back and you're never going to find it, then you can't tell somebody they can't look. It's not, rule wise, you can't. But if there's a group consensus that, dude, that ball is gone, then you just, as a player, you should be able to, like, all right, then I'll just take my drop and move on. And then,
yes, for me, I'm like,
most of our courses defenses are forest or 4-foot, 5-foot tall long grass.
Yep.
Most of us, and especially in 4 and 5, we're not hitting out of that and making it out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, people need to take their time, and I'm okay with that. I'm not going to discourage people from looking, but it's also accepting the reality as a Division 4 or 5 golfer that it's in your probably best interest just to take a drop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get it back in play and try to go for bogey.
I have definitely had to swallow that one a little bit, a couple times, where it's like, it's not coming back. And even then, though, I'm mad to the point where it's like, forget it. I'm just going to drop.
Oh, I'm taking the hero shot every time.
We know we saw you from the parking lot.
We did.
Yeah. But yeah, the other, like, the thing for me is like, people will be like, if I'm the only one in the group that like lost, like is out, I'll tell all 3 dudes like, hey, drop me off. I'll look for it. You guys go hit.
Yeah.
And like, after they hit, my cart partner comes back, gives me a courtesy look, and if we don't find it, I'll just be like, I'll be off somewhere, and I'll be like, all right, I'll take one more look on the way back to the cart. So like as I'm walking back to the cart, sometimes you find it, sometimes you don't. But I'm like, I'll just take a drop. It's not like we're playing for billions of dollars on a weekend or even thousands of dollars on a weekend. Like,
no.
Well, and
I
like
think
it's just it'd be one thing if we were like playing for like a significant amount of money, but like half the time, like the prize money covers your entry fee basically. So like it's not that serious as far as like yes, you
and I
lost a
don't
golf
think
ball,
there should
but
be any expectation to finish a tournament round in 4 hours.
uh-uh.
Like if I was playing a tournament round and I needed to finish in 4 hours, I would feel rushed, which means I'm not having a good time.
Yeah.
Like anyone that wants to finish in less than 4, why? That would be what I ask. Why?
I think
Why?
well
I
because
think
Buffalo
rush?
Wild Wings usually closes at 10.
Well, you know.
I mean,
But I think
I
4.5
think-
to 5 is totally. I mean,
I feel like that's an acceptable tournament because people are going to be taking longer on shots, thinking through stuff. Like
mhm.
I know me personally, like this year, all weekend, like Kirksville, Ambrier, and Columbia. I told Brandon, I was like, all weekend, I play pretty fast as it is, but I was like, when I get to the green, like I am grinding on all my putts this weekend. Like I'd made it a point to myself to really like take my time on the greens, like look at it. Like you probably saw me at Ambrier. I looked at a lot of putts from both sides. Like it was, I never do that. I was taking my, like, you also have to kind of balance that with like, you need to be able to, you know, like if you're going to take your time in one aspect of it, you need to be able to make up a little bit of time somewhere else.
Well, I mean, I'm
like
the
you can't
same
be
way.
taking 3 minutes to hit every single shot.
no.
No, not at all. I mean, that's kind of what happened at Kirksville. We had one that'll go nameless that, I mean, he took 2.5 minutes a shot, and it just throws everybody off. Like, and God forbid he have a gust of wind because he'll back off and do it all over again. It's like,
I mean,
you legit, you gotta like, I mean, you gotta have some sort of idea of what you're gonna do. Like, I got 150 yards. You gotta have an idea what club you're gonna use. Take the wind into account. Grab your club, get up there, and do your thing.
I mean, I think it's supposed to be about 45 seconds a shot.
Yeah.
But again, even when I'm going out and playing on a casual day, which means I'm not taking extra time, we're still playing over 4-hour rounds with a group of 4. Like any faster than that, I would literally feel rushed.
Dude, we got done with Stone Canyon at 4:30 yesterday. We teed off at 1 and we were done at 4:30.
That's impressive.
Oh, dude, it was flowing.
I assume you didn't walk.
Flowing. No, not yet. No, not yet.
Yeah,
We're gonna do that.
Like,
we're gonna
like
do
Adams Point on Saturday. We felt like we played like not like super fast, but it was like a perfect pace. Like all day, I think we finished it was like just over 4 hours, and it was just like that was like the perfect pace. Like it wasn't like we were waiting on maybe like 3 or 4 holes, but like outside of that, like it was super, like it wasn't a super long round.
That reminds me.
But it's also like there's nobody else on the course in front of us. It was just like there's a group of like 8 people behind us, so like we didn't have to worry about people pushing us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and get a practice round in before the tournament. I won't be able to next weekend, so
I'm so excited.
I think we're playing
that's going to be a huge tournament.
So this is either going to be a huge crutch or work out really well. But me and Brandon are playing we're going to probably play the Golf Week Excelsior tournament the day before the Adams Point tournament. And I was like, I'm not sure I want to go play on the Excelsior's greens before we go play Adams Point.
Totally different greens, though.
I was like, but say like you go to Excelsior, you play super well on those greens. Like you're going to have a ton of confidence going into Adams Points because those greens are pretty easy compared to Excelsior. But I was like, man, I go to Excelsior, like just absolutely shit the bed around the greens and like can't putt. I'm like, that's gonna like kind of a little mental game there on going into Adams.
No, Excelsior's one swing thought. Every green is back to front.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
you either have to
green out there that doesn't slope back to front.
Yeah, there's not a single one. Like
the strategy at Excelsior Springs is if the pin's in the back, you want to short it. If the pin's in the front, you want to short it. Well, guys,
that'll be fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm excited for this entire season. I think it's going to be a good year. I can't wait. I'm a little disappointed I won't be able to make the Stableford. That's just Memorial Day weekend. That's our lake weekend. But David, it was a pleasure having you on. Feel free in the last here minute to kind of give us a rundown, a quick synopsis of everything APT.
Sure. So Kansas City right now, still growing. I mean, I think we've increased 20 members in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So hoping to see more. Any member that refers somebody brand new will give you $25 tour credit to any of our local tournaments. So you refer a bunch of people, they all sign up, you could play free tournaments. Stableford for Sycamore, again, for your Division 3, 4, 5 players, it gives you a chance to not be hurt for your doubles or your triples, which we all know will happen, and it rewards you for your bogeys, your pars, and your birdies.
Rip driver, baby.
Smart,
just
smart,
rip driver
smart,
everywhere,
aggressive
baby.
play at Sycamore. Stuff will continue to sell out, I'm hoping. Definitely get signed up for Mozingo. I would love to fill up Mozingo early so we could potentially add more spots to it. Keep a lookout for more info on maybe an end of the year party. Also would love to release the schedule by the end of this year as well so that you know what's going to happen for 2025. And then
That'd be nice.
I would say never hesitate to reach out. I mean, the motto for the players by the players isn't lost here. If you guys want to see changes, you want to see courses, new courses, tell me. That's my goal for next year is let's do new courses. Let's do maybe a couple things out of town. Let's do some more fun social tournaments. Like I said, a par 3 shootout. There's no points there. Let's just have fun, right? The camaraderie is really what I enjoy because that's how I met all of you guys. That's how I met 75% of the people I hang out with to this day. So I'm excited for APT. Going to keep trying to add member benefits, trying to increase our prize pools via sponsorships, and just trying to fill tournaments, give you guys the best competition possible.
Fantastic. Well, so far you've been doing a great job. I mean, promotion wise, social media wise, the schedule looks good this year. I'll be honest with you. I'm absolutely excited that Mozingo is not on Mother's Day weekend. That way I don't feel rushed to go back home to, see my mom and whatnot. But also let everybody know how to get a hold of you, where they can go to get more information.
Yeah. I mean, you can go to our Facebook page, Amateur Players Tour of Kansas City. If you send me a message on there, it's going to come to me directly. It's probably the easiest way. If you don't have social media, you can email me, davids@aptgolf.org. A little easier than my full last name. Not going to give out my cell phone number on a podcast, but if you know, and you can always text me on there.
We will not give out your phone number on a podcast.
But yeah, honestly, through the Facebook page is the easiest. We run ad campaigns, and you can message me if you see those that pop up on Instagram or Facebook. Be patient with me. Running social media just on one platform is enough. So my goal is to maybe expand into Instagram, some of these others, platforms for social media. But really, at the end of the day, my goal, having been a player and now an owner, is to just give you guys the best experience. Highlight when our members play well out of town, highlight cool shots that we can take throughout the weekend, highlight how we, our accomplishments from tournaments.
I'll say that's the biggest thing we've noticed is when I went to me, Cliff, and a couple other guys went to the Orlando one at Mystic Dunes, like the acknowledgement of when our guys are Kansas City's showing out at other tournaments that's been the biggest noticeable difference. I feel like for everybody has been that stuff, and it's been it's nice to see it because a lot of we didn't really get a whole lot of, even when guys win local tournaments, there wasn't a whole lot of congratulations to this guy or stuff like that posted anywhere. So
I mean, people earn their accolades. That's my thought on it. We're here. We're paying to play tournaments. We're paying to hopefully do well in these tournaments and earn points throughout the year. You guys deserve the accolades. I mean, again, you getting a hole in one, Chris doing well all weekend, as well as you, Matt, Ziggy. I mean, Zach Terry winning his first tournament of the year. Those are things people should be congratulated on. And it's, that's, I think, one of the reasons Jake brought me on is I've run a big social media clubs. I'm okay with taking the time to go look at, where are our members playing in national tournaments? How are we doing in local tournaments? And be able to give that, that extra benefit or accolades to our members.
And it's no knock to Jake at all. Jake has done a fantastic job, and he built it from the beginning, and he's done everything that he can. But running as many businesses and as much time as he has, we've benefited from it, and now it's time. And I like what I like what you guys are doing. It's time to kind of, I don't want to say pass the torch, but it's kind of time to pass the torch and somebody else run it and help run it and be able to do those kinds of things. Because it is nice to go and see. Like you get done playing a tournament and somebody giving you a kudos online, or somebody seeing what's going on. It's great.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the beauty of it. Jake has so much experience in running tournaments. I have the extra time to add, to just enhance what that is, to be able to add to it. I can do the social media work. He knows how to run the tournaments and has the networking abilities to get us onto good courses. So it's a perfect match, and I'm glad. I think just asking me to even help, and become a business partner this year just shows how much APT continues to grow in Kansas City.
Absolutely.
How much it can continue to grow from this point on.
Especially like everybody knows, like I post all the time. People probably get tired of seeing it, but like it's nice to have. At least for the beginning of this year, it's been nice to have like that extra like. I don't just have to go take a screenshot of the scoreboard on the APT app, and post it. You're giving us that opportunity to like have stuff to post for other people to see.
Yeah, and that's my excitement for Sycamore is I'm going to give you guys a whole Google Drive full of hopefully super sweet photos, action shots throughout the course that you can use for social media. You can use it for family. You can do it however you want. Those photos are going to be yours.
Fantastic. Well, David, thank you so much for being on here. We're going on an hour and a half. This is actually might be the longest podcast we've done. But we really appreciate you being here. We really appreciate everything that you're doing for APT and for golf in Kansas City. And we absolutely look forward to what's to come. So
I appreciate that. Happy to come back, and hopefully we can do
we'll have you back. We'll have you back. Yeah,
we should be able to do something live. There's a cool downtown.
Oh yeah. We're gonna book. We'll book some stuff and we'll do Ambrier live. I'll have to figure out the camera work, but we'll get it. But other than that, David, Matt, thank you, and that's gonna do it. We're gonna call it an hour and a half this time.
Congrats again to the both of you for last weekend. It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch.
Glad you got your speaker before I got my payment.